welcome to my Sunday Frump. Today is a mukbang, so of course I just have a light breakfast because it's already kind of late. So I just have sausage and toast and gravy, and then I have my drink here, which is just lemonade, and not impressive, but it's good. It's refreshing. The season, the weather here locally, we still have like a heat thing going on. So I'm not gonna sit here and complain what I do have going for me. but yeah, there's still problems with wildfires. There's still problems, with the heat going on, and a little bit, of the storm kind of cooled some of the the nation off, but actually it kind of also the tropical storm Alberto, it turned into a tropical depression, real fast, but it also brought to the panhandle, the tornado alley, which you guys call the tornado alley, it brought a little bit of moisture, so that became a problem. But when it happened, I think the Texas governor declared disaster already, and there was a few tornadoes and stuff, and they only counted 4 deaths, so that was pretty, I think everybody kind of prepared to be safe during, and hopefully after, because there's still another storm coming in the same place that tropical storm Alberto was formed, and but yeah, that heat dome, it's all over, It actually showed up as an alert. So this time, today, I'm taking it more seriously, of course, and taking precautions and all that good stuff. So I ordered some more beverages, and so I'm trying to stay cool, and I got a breeze going in the house, and yeah, the weather. But Florida had been soaked earlier. They had seen an impactful, devastating flood, and situations kind of like Texas had seen in the past few days, with the tornadoes and all that stuff coming from that one storm, and Miami was watching an area close by that actually now is actually showing up on radar that it is going to potentially be a problem. So they're looking at a depression. They're not looking at a storm at all. But it's really growing really fast and really strong and big. So, hopefully everybody's ready, because of what had happened. There's probably still stagnant water somewhere. That's what we see a lot, when the water doesn't reside, they don't know what to do with the water. It becomes an issue when there's more water, precipitation they didn't prepare for, they didn't plan, because they don't know where to store it now. You get reservoirs. We talk a lot about reservoirs. When they're overflowed, what do? You only have, sometimes some towns only have one reservoir. This is good. That's why I get so happy when they open locks and dams and stuff like that. And they're pretty and stuff, but they really, people really need to utilize what we can, preserve life. But that is a storm that might impact Georgia and Florida. And so I think there was a boy that had went missing, and he was found in a river. His name is Riley Strain, and I believe I covered it before. His parents had ordered their own private autopsy, and they had ordered another autopsy, on top of that. And the results were found that he was intoxicated, that he had in fact, been abusing some type of substance. Um, so then, if that's true, it could have happened that it was an accident, that he just fell. Um, and Unfortunately, he was walking. They had like witnesses said that they saw him walking along, real close to a river, and he was found in one. So I think that might have been the case. They did find water in his lungs and everything. Even though people were saying, they had every story they could name, and they still continue to stand by them. So I'm not sure, what they're expecting with the other autopsy. Hopefully it's nothing sketchy. Hope, he didn't die on shady grounds. These freak accidents happen, but, he was very young. So, but that was the results. They were pretty much cut and clear. And I'm sure with the second one, that will, rest, people will rest easy knowing exactly, what happened. Because a lot of people worry, there could be some threat out there. But I mean, I always think it's better to play on the safe side when you're drinking. It gets kind of. I think a lot of people say that statistically, like you'll find that statistics read just that. Like once you abuse any substance, including alcohol, you're more liable and susceptible to becoming victimized. And we all need to realize that. Because when you're young, you don't want to even talk about it, And that's why I think like a lot of people don't understand, where I'm coming from. The mindset behind what I speak, because they call it SJW, they call it wokeness, they call it being too woke, And in this space, I get criticized a lot, although they don't want to name me, for, having such a passion to advocate for things that maybe others might have, overlooked, and maybe slipped out of their hands, even though they were the ones who were overseeing these things. Maybe, it wouldn't be a stretch to say that, I could be a voice for the people, that didn't have one, and maybe to them it's just a little bit of, angry woman being loud, but, and, that's the part that gets at me, when somebody's doing something and you're so self-absorbed that you can't see around you in the first place, yet you have the right to speak about another person and their activities and involvement in the community. You don't. Be a good neighbor and shut your mouth. You know what I mean? Like, it's that easy. But, so is being kind, being nice, and watching out for your neighbor. And that's what the majority of what I speak That's where it comes from. It comes from inside. It comes from experience. And it comes from knowing that there are things that I'm inexperienced at, you know. And it comes from being humble, because you never know. And that's why I say, it's very important to be aware, And I call it woke, yeah, I call it woke, but it's not a slur to me. It became a slur because there are haters in the space. But that's all I have to say about that. I already chewed on it, but it's super delicious. Mm. Mm. Excuse me. I did see like this little. I thought it was like really cute. It was like a show for for like looking for love, and I was like, let me look at that. Let me watch that again. And I looked it up, because like it was kind of hard to find, and everybody was clipping it. Like everybody, it was like viral reaction because everybody wanted the response to be uploaded about this man that went on a show. It was kind of like speed date. There were several contestants. Instead of a rose, it was a balloon. And sometimes it's girls, sometimes it's boys. Sometimes it's a bachelorette, or sometimes it's a bachelor. But I think it's like single people without strings attached already. So they don't have a home, they haven't made their home yet, or what have you. I'm just going by what I've seen, because I only saw that one part of that one episode, which is about nearly 2 hours long. And it's a really, like I said, it's a really entertaining show. But I just wanted to read because I had written about it like as a read. I didn't want to just come across like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't pay attention to the show because sometimes like I feel like people might reach out to me and be like, did you even watch my show? That never happened. Or like I never get that, but like I just always assume that, afterwards after I speak on somebody's show, they never call me again. I'm like, hey, why didn't you call me back? I hope I hope you didn't take something I said out of context, because I never mean anything seriously, you know what I mean? Like, it's just to be taken with a grain of salt. It's not supposed to, be like devastating. And anyways, I don't have anything to say about that show, but it was a really cute, it's a concept that I never seen before. And I think that it's becoming like trendy. And I actually think it's a refreshing concept. Oh, and let me talk to you about that. I think it's a refreshing concept compared to things that go viral. And, and although this was a very kind of not a good reason to go viral, I think like a lot of shows and concepts go viral and they're kind of disgusting. And they're kind of like made for like other platforms that are not like they're behind 18 and over wall. And And so, like, for me, like, this is kind of like it's kind of like a treat because how many times do we get to watch a regular show on the internet? And it's not like raunchy. Yeah. Pop the Balloon, a dating show showcasing the ease of pulling matronly women in today's dating market. It starts off in a segment in which Bachelor is a plumber who, on his spare time, volunteers to help the less fortunate in need of this service but cannot afford to hire out. He has no kids, has a soft spot for a typical baddie, and is looking for love. He walks on stage dressed better than the other contestants. A nice smile with tattoos, hand muscles on full display. He just reads boss. The women dressed as if they were quietly snuck out of their middle-class single-family home with ultra-revealing frocks and shoes snatched from little sister who about wore them down for their quinceañera. And although none of their hair gave, professionally done, that also came off as mid. As soon as he arrived to mic up, a balloon was popped. And as they went down to one single balloon, a vinyl red clown type, no, the woman actually donned a black latex mini dress with skipper's shoes on that were white. They gave him nothing but problems for telling in sister code what lie ahead, and I do mean lie. As these women chop him down to size, only directing their speech to him to quickly dismiss his response as misogyny or shallow frat bro reactions to their confronting societal problems within the dating market. It's as if with every modern woman victimization speech, they were ushering him down a glorious path to the woman of his dreams. She was dressed for the dream, all right. And no, get your mind out of the gutter. I'm talking modern women. It's get the bag. And I just call it the loot. As the behind the scenes revealed through social media takes place, so does the connection. The dreaded introducing, launching questions with no aim nor genuine desire. And on both sides, the more they played it up, the more game was run. And in the end, they walked off stage and into the sunset to live happily ever after. Are you kidding? Did you fall for it too? Do you know how many numbers she gave the male staff on the show before, during, and after? 7, including area code. A sunset in a latex dress, that's nuts. Let's be honest. How long do you give him until he found out the real her was foul? And wouldn't you know, she wouldn't be the only one this sister code was upheld even after the show. They had more in common than their mismatched footgear. They all ganged up with backup using supporters to false report him. They ended up calling his boss so many times he was fired. While one of those hairy-armed divestors allegedly went to do a bid, the match had no time to actually get to know the plumber. He accused her of using the phone when they were alone to interact with other men. What he was accused of was actually their deflection of their true self, exposed and weaponized, so it is less vulnerable. And as it goes to show, modern women don't know what they want or what's best for them. The match wanted a man who had a good job. She contributed to his loss and quickly diffused the flame. She used him for clout, and it was super easy with a ready-made audience given what with her looks. They knew it would be a show, and with no real substance to offer, she fed them. And because that's how the sisterhood amongst modern women works, she added no value, wouldn't even stick up for her bachelor. Thus, they ate. With all the coverage he's getting, if he were half what they told him that he was convictingly to his face, he wouldn't still be unbothered. So, yeah. I don't know why these girls go on those shows other than to self-promote. And I think, like I said, some shows make it like that, because they're going to go viral. But I didn't find that here. I just found that this particular group just thought, like, let me come get some kicks today. Or they just thought, let me hit a lick on this mark real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just thought, let me divide and conquer. And that's, the mindset that they had. And so, obviously, he was the only male on stage. And it was easy for him just to kind of get, thrown under the bus because, they had already planned, let's get Giga Chad, And so, like, for me, that's like, you're just showing your true colors, And I think there's various, as opposed to layers of you, I think there's various sides of that, concept. And I think that, I think it was a toxic environment for him. And, the only sound of reason was the hostess. And so, like, he kind of carried that off stage and, it just propelled into, like, something that just blew up into a viral clip. And, that's something that I personally avoid, and I encourage you guys to avoid, whenever you see something toxic going on and that ain't your scene, you know what I'm saying? Just, keep going. Don't even bother interacting or mingling. You don't want to rub elbows with that, crowd. That crowd's lame. And, you know what I'm saying? People associate you with who you associate with. So, I hope you like this video, and I'll see you guys again soon on the next one. My son different, bye-bye.